guys, Aunt Ashley here. I'm wearing my cat ears because I thought they would be appropriate for today's book, which is The Berenstain Bears and the Coughing Catfish. So, it's not about cats, but it's a head cat in it. So, I decided I was going to wear my cat ears. So, let's see what's happening in bear country today. Papa, why are you so determined to catch old Jake, the giant catfish? Asked Brother Bear. Why? Said Papa as he looked out over Lake Grizzly. Because he's there. And today, I'm sure to catch him because I have this plastic mouse lure. See? He's just sure he's going to get him this time. Plastic mouse, said Sister Bear, puzzled. But, Papa, cats don't have anything to do with catfish. What makes you think old Jake will like mice? Back off, sis, said Brother, taking Sister aside. Old Jake's a friend of ours. We don't want him caught anyways. Hey, that's right, said Sister. That's when Papa felt something on his line. Something big. So that's not exactly what catfish look like. So they know Jake, the catfish. I've got him! I've got him! Papa shouted. It was something big, all right. A big, muddy rubber boot. It's a disgrace, said Papa. Folks are using Lake Grizzly as a dump. Just look at this place. Old cans, bottles, candy wrappers. I've caught my quota of garbage for the day. I'm heading home. The cubs looked around. Papa was right. Lake Grizzly was a mess. So there's his big boot he caught, but there's all this extra trash all over the place. You know, sis, said Brother, this could be serious. Lake Grizzly is very important to the bears of Bear Country. That's when the cubs heard a familiar voice. It's pretty important, cough, cough, to the fish of Lake Grizzly too, cough, cough, and the frogs, crabs, and turtles. It was the voice of Jake, the giant catfish, and he was very angry. I'll tell you, Cubbaroos, the way folks are polluting Lake Grizzly, I don't know how long we sea creatures can last, Jake said. Yes, agreed Sister, the lakeshore is pretty bad. I'm not talking about the lakeshore, said Jake. I'm talking about the lake bottom. And with that, he began throwing trash from the lake bottom and throwing it onto the shore. Take it easy, cried Brother. Yes, said Sister, we're on your side. So there they are, jumping to avoid all the trash he's throwing. So it goes in the water, and then it sinks down to the bottom and pollutes the bottom of it as well. Sorry, Cubbaroos, said old Jake. It's just that if something isn't done about this pollution, and soon, the whole lake, cough, cough, is going to be in trouble. There he is talking with him. There's no doubt about it, Jake said. This is serious, said Brother. We'll go ask Professor Actual Factual Bear if he can help. I'm sure he can. Things are getting cough, cough, desperate, Jake said, and he swam away. So long, Jake, called Sister, and take care of that cough. So we're going to go visit Professor Actual Factual. That does sound serious, said Actual Factual. The professor was director of the Bearsonian Institute and the foremost bear science of his time. The cubs were visiting him in his office. You see, continued the professor, Lake Grizzly is Bear Country's reservoir. It supplies most of our water. You mean we've been drinking that stuff? Said Sister, making a face. Is there anything we can do? Asked Brother. First, said the professor, rubbing his chin, we must survey the entire lake. Maybe we can do that from a Bearsonian observation balloon, said Brother. Capital idea, said Actual Factual. and they headed for the museum's parking lot where the balloon was kept. So there they are talking, and then there they're heading to go to the balloon. That could be a fun ride, right? Soon, pollution fighters, brother and sister, and actual factual were floating high over Lake Grizzly in the museum's helium-filled balloon. See any polluters? The professor asked sister, who was looking through the telescope. Do I, said sister. Here, have a look. Disgraceful. Something must be done about this, actual factual said. Polluters of every shape and size were following Lake Grizzly. So there they are floating. Then there's all these different people that are throwing junk and trash into the lake. Factual the next step, Professor? Asked brother. An underwater inspection of Lake Grizzly, answered actual factual. How are we going to do that? Asked sister. By using my special new scuba gear, he said. Professor Actual Factual's new invention not only let divers breathe underwater, but talk as well. Pretty soon the cubs and the professor were anchoring out on Lake Grizzly, all ready to start their inspection. So there they are. They're getting ready to go in the water. I wonder what they're going to see. Probably going to see all kinds of junk and trash and stuff down there too, huh? In we go, shouted Actual Factual, and in they went. Splash, splash, splash. It was a whole other world underwater, a whole other world of trash and junk. Gracious, this is worse than I expected, said Actual Factual. Boy, it's messier than our room at home, said brother. Yes, but at least we pick up our room once in a while, said sister. Sorry to say, it may be too late to pick up all this mess, sighed Actual Factual. A cleanup like this will cost a fortune. They went in, but look at all the trash down there. Definitely not a good thing. Maybe I can help with the expense, Professor, cough, cough, said old Jake as he appeared in the murky, polluted water. I've got a little something I've been saving for a rainy day. Well, said sister, as more pollution came floating down from the surface, it certainly is a rainy day. It's raining, tin cans and bottles, and look out! Old box springs! They followed Jake to a secret underwater cave. There you are, cubbaroos, the little something I've been saving for a rainy day, Jake said. Professor Actual Factual and the cubs could scarcely believe their eyes. Bless my spectacles, said Professor. It's the hulk of the sunken ship. Here they are. That bed is coming down on top of them. They're trying to run away or swim away. But then look. It's a sunken ship. Isn't that cool? Black Bear, the pirate's treasure ship, said old Jake, went down more than 100 years ago. He led Actual Factual and the cubs into the ship to a treasure chest filled with pieces of 8 gold doubloons and valuable jewels. Will that cover the cost of cleanup, Professor? Asked Jake. Mercy, yes, said Actual Factual, but we'll need more money to keep fighting pollution. Otherwise, the lake will get polluted again. That pirate ship sure is something, said brother. I'll bet bears would pay to see something like this, added sister. Of course, said Actual Factual, becoming exciting. The ship could be a floating museum, and we could use the admission to teach our fellow bears about protecting the environment. An excellent idea, cubs. How could it be a floating museum? Asked brother. It's underwater. I'll show you how, answered the professor. So they went in, and there's all the coins and jewels. It took some doing, but it worked. With the help of the cubs and old Jake, the professor attached the deflated Berenstain balloon to the ship and inflated it with helium. And eureka! The ship rose to the surface. There they are, trying to get it to work. There it is, up above the water. And it took a lot more doing to get the floating museum ready, but the job got done, and on opening day, dozens of paying customers were waiting in line. Professor Actual Factual and the Cubs were very proud. Old Jake was pretty proud too. Not only had he saved the lake, he'd gotten rid of his cough. So there they are. So today we want to make sure we don't throw trash in places that it doesn't belong. We put it in the trash can or we recycle it so that we don't have any problems like this. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again soon. Bye. Love you.